Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Alright, welcome race fans. We're live tonight here at Charlotte Motor Speedway here for the virtual world. And I tell you what, Sim500 special race here tonight. It is a benefit style race, and it's going to be a unique format that we've got with the guys here in the Cup cars. Neverquit 240 here tonight. It's going to honor a man here I got in the booth, Bryce Winston Jr. But right now, these guys are getting set to go on their qualifying run. But real quick, let me introduce the man up here. Bryce, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Joe. Thanks for having me up here in the booth. I really appreciate it.
Well, you know, we got some racing here tonight at Charlotte, and these guys are putting on a good benefit race. You know, kind of in your honor. Tell us a little bit about, obviously, the Neverquit, the foundation that you're going through, and a little bit. A little bit about yourself.
So basically 3 years ago in August of 2017, I was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia. And we've been battling ever since then with various treatments and doing whatever we could to treat this disease. And unfortunately, I've been rather refractory. And about halfway through last year, somewhere around July of 2019, we found a treatment in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, that is available to us that we can get to, but I'm signed up. I'm the last clinical trial person for it, and it keeps getting delayed. So one thing with this, once we are able to make it to Philadelphia, my wife and I are going to have quite a few expenses, and so basically this race is going to help us for some of those expenses of moving to Philadelphia for 6 months, or to hopefully cure this disease, and so I can get back to a normal life.
Well, I'll tell you what, and that's the thing, like you just said right there, get back to a normal deal, normal life, what you said. And unfortunately, I know the delays. A lot of people have been going through it, and hopefully you get up there, and hopefully tonight we get good ones. It's good racing here at Charlotte. Fun track, awesome man facility, awesome racing here at Sim500. A good thing that they're putting on. Another guy up here in the booth with us here. Want to introduce him real quick. We'll go to it as DJ Beverly. DJ, how you doing?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me up here.
Hey, no doubt. Well, I tell you, well, I think you're the main man that has helped put this show on. What's your racing been like here lately?
Oh, I retired.
I know you was telling us before that
spectator.
you telling us before that you lost you don't want to lose the bet with the wife is what you were telling us on that one.
Yeah, it was time, man. I need to take a break. I might come back before my subscription runs out in February.
Gotcha. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I tell you what. Well, we got qualifying in the way. And again, what we were talking about here, unique format. And the format here tonight is just going to be heat races. We got 4 heat races. Now, this qualifying here is obviously a 2-lap single car style qualifying, like it normally would be in any NASCAR event. The top 20 on times are going to go to tomorrow night's feature. With that said, we're going to have 4 heat races. Top 3 in each heat race will go to the feature main of tomorrow. And the other guys are going to have to kind of race their way in. But it will be 20 laps each heat race here tonight. And then we're going to have 2 kind of consolation style races, 20 laps each. Caution laps don't count. That's the key here. So it's going to be a little different than what we're used to. Kind of almost like an all-star format. As we're getting set here, is right now it looks like Scott Stencil, and everybody knows that name right there. Well, it should be most people, and I know y'all two do. Is Bryce, you actually work for a real NASCAR team.
Yeah, I do. I work for Hendrick Motorsports. My wife and I moved to North Carolina in 2016 for me to work for Hendrick. And I'll tell you, they've been amazing. They've put their full support behind me through this, helped us in a lot of ways, and I can never repay what Mr. Hendrick and the entire team at Hendrick Motorsports has done for Rachel and I. It's definitely been a big deal, and man, there's a great place to work, and at the same time, I get to work on race cars. What more can you ask for?
Hey, nothing wrong with that. And I tell you, in my neck of woods, like you said, NC, and it's good that we got here in Charlotte, because it's actually my backyard track here. It's about 15 minutes away from it. Right now, looks like Ricky Harding is the man who puts it on top for the pole, along with old Scott Stencil there. It's like I said, for the top 20 are what we're looking at here right now on that bubble is going to be, I hope I get this guy's last name right, Michael Krobach.
Krobach.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Right, good deal. My southern accent sometimes messes me up, and as I say that, never mind. He just got knocked right on out, and Kevin Brown's the man up in 20th, and then we got Reed, so that thing is just flipping back and forth to the top 20.
Oh yeah, man, that top 20 position seems to be really close racing. We're talking about less than a tenth is going to make or break you here. So I've heard from quite a few of the drivers during practice that they tried to hold it wide open, but you just can't quite make it wide open, and so it's just all about knowing when to lift and when to push.
Yeah, and that's the thing about these cars. And boy, I'll tell you what, with some fast names to get knocked out of there too. Daniel Faulknam sitting on the bubble now. I know he's a real fast one there. Let's see if that kind of changes here in just a few, as we're looking at that 20th place spot, because top 20 it gets locked in. The rest of the guys are going to have to kind of race their way in for tomorrow night's feature, as we're going to have 4 heat races here tonight. Very fast. Again, hey, there's a link out there. Check it out. Bryce has posted it. You can go out there for the National Marrow Dome program. Visit that, to beatamatch.org, and also the GoFundMe page there to help out Bryce Whitson and all tonight. So definitely, and appreciate everyone who has tuned in. Going to be a good race here. I want to appreciate the Sim500 guys for allowing us here at OSR Network, online simracingnetwork.com. To put on the event, and old DJ up here for helping support on the event too. I know you said that you retired a lot and you just want to be a spectator. What do you think we're going to see tonight here on this race, DJ?
I don't know. I had to see the lineups first, but I had to say Ricky Harding sure looks good in my old race car.
Ricky Harding. See where he's at right now.
He's second.
Second. Yes, he is. Up to second place. So he's locked in. He might not have to, race his way in for tomorrow night. Like I say, a lot of these guys, top 20 right now, the man on the bubble. James Grahula?
Krahula.
Grahula. All right, good deal.
Yeah, James. I've known James for quite a while. Him and I have run a few leagues together, even adminned a couple leagues together. That's been what's been really cool about this, Joe, is a lot of people have come out. Some people I have no clue who they are, and a lot of guys have come out that I've known for a long time. And it's been really cool to see the support that's surrounded me so far. And I really appreciate all these iRacing guys helping me out. It definitely means a lot.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, qualifying is over. We got our first heat race here tonight. 10 drivers right here. Looks like it's going to be on the board for this one. 20 laps here, folks, for it as they're going to grid them up. It's going to be Daniel Falkingham, Steve Goschak. We got Reed Rundell. Hope I pronounced that one there. Tim Knott's going to start it in here. Richard Beasley up there. Mark Allen. Ted Pullen. Ian Fraser. We got Neil Quick and Dennis Rigel. I apologize if I messed that one up there, but they'll be the top 10 drivers. Remember, 3 of them advance on to the feature for tomorrow. I'll be able to race their way in because they did not tell me that they were going to do it like an alphabet soup. And if anybody's familiar with dirt racing, that is what they pretty much say. The top 3 will go to the consolation, then they'll have numbers that'll go through there, or the rest of the guys will have to race their way through. So I'm taking that the top 3 guys automatically will go to the feature. The rest of the guys are pretty much going to have to race their way in from the consolation races and do it that way, the hard way around, so to speak. I'm going to say Daniel Falkenham is going to be probably one of the favorites here. You got Steve Goschak, but some of these names I'm not familiar with in here. Maybe you are there, Bryson DJ, but they're really the only 2 that I am are 3, Richard Beasley, Steve, and Daniel. The other guys, unfortunately, I'm just not too familiar with.
Oh, yeah, I know quite a few of these guys, and so, I'm real excited to see what's going to happen, and, I think these are going to be some exciting heat races because there's a lot of fast guys back here.
Absolutely. What's up, Alan? How you doing out there, Tim? And I appreciate everybody tuning in. We're live here tonight on Facebook and OSR Network and OSR Network on YouTube, so I always can say, hey, kind of pick your poison on which one you want there, and we do appreciate either way. Hit that like and share. Get it out there to as many people as you can. Neverquit 240 here tonight. Kind of unique format. This is a qualifying night, so it'll probably go by pretty quick. Tomorrow night will be the feature style race. It's kind of an all-star kind of setup tomorrow where there will be segments. There'll be 40 laps, and then 80 lap style segments. So it'll be kind of like what NASCAR normally puts on for an all-star event. Still going to be exciting. Here we go. We're lined up side by side, 2 by 2. Lights off on a pace car. Remember, this is more of a heat style, and this, I think, here is going to benefit guys who really like to just flat out run these cars. You got to get everything you can. You only got 20 laps to get it done in. Pace car's out of turn 4. Take that hard left turn off on pit road. Daniel Falkenham's going to bring them to the line here. Slow march to the green. It'll fly. We're racing here at Charlotte. Virtual world under the lights.
Oh yeah, man, this is just great to see all these guys. Daniel Falkingham pulling out to the lead right there real quick. Steve Gottschalk falling in behind him with Reed Rundell and Tim Knott there. It's really going to be whoever gets up front and can run the hell out of it on these 20 lap heats. I do think the draft is going to play a big part in this, especially when you get back to that 4th and 5th position. I could see 4th and 5th drafting up on the 3rd place guy and knocking him out right at the end.
Well, you got to look at it right now. That's Richard Beasley. He's outside looking in. He'd love to get around the man Reed, who is in that final transfer lockdown spot in 3rd. Right now, Richard knows he's got a little time to sit there and try to, kind of size up the competition, so to speak, and see if we can't get around it. But he's got Tim. We're going to battle for the lead up front. Steve Goschak. That's another thing. This track, man, favors momentum. You've raced here. I've raced here. A lot of guys have. As you see the battle for 4th right now, Tim looks to the inside. He's going to try to take that dive down. They'll go door to door. This is what the man in the front there on 3rd place wants to see. Reed does. They want to see these guys battle a little bit on the track because that'll let them pull away and breathe a little bit more easier up front.
Right here's what I was hoping to see is Tim Knott is going to use that momentum that he got in that push from Richard Beasley. He's going to try and go around Reed Rundell on the inside. Man, this is a great race for 3rd place. These guys are really pushing hard to try to get to that to that feature.
He is, and Tim's going to take over third for the moment. That's going to bring old Richard right up along with him on the inside. Reed's going to slip back all the way to fifth. We talk about this track here at Charlotte, a lot of momentum, and you see, man, just popped off the wall right there, Reed did. Car gets up top. You can get very tight, very quick here, and that's the thing you're talking about. You got to learn how to throttle manage a little bit. You're going to see those cars kind of sliding up the middle of the track. That's the tightness that you work with here. Mark Allen trying to work over the man in fifth place spot, Reed.
Yeah, Mark is really good with saving tires too, so we'll see how he pans out.
Yeah, you got it right there. What's up, Dean? How you doing out there? Is Daniel Falkenham still the man up front leading it. Steve Goschalk's riding right there, and his tire track sitting in second. Tim Knotts is the man in third. And the top three guys will go on into the feature here in this heat style run. You got Neil Quick. He's back here. He's looking pretty quick in that number 12 machine. He's going to see if he can't get around and maybe get up to fifth place.
Yeah, it's great to see all these guys out here running like this. I'm looking through this field and I'm seeing guys that I've known for years and years on iRacing. I've raced with Tim Knott, who's sitting here in third. I've raced with him for many years. Steve Goschalk and I used to race in RSR together. Richard Beasley and I, when the iRacing league thing very first came out, we actually had a league together. So, this is just really cool for me to see all these people throughout my iRacing career come together and have this great event. It's a really cool thing.
Yes, it is. And right now, looking very good. Man, as these guys are up front, Daniel Falkenham right there along with it. He's out there running pretty good so far. Now the battle's on for third place. Tim, he's got some pressure from Richard Beasley right now.
Yeah, it looked like Richard might have laid back and got the tires cooled down a little bit.
Yes, he did. As you see him right there, battle on, third place. Here comes Richard and Tim. Is Richard going to be able to get him? Yeah, Richard, man, pulls off that move.
No, he hit the wall.
Tell you what, this battle for third place is just really heating up, man. Richard's really pushing it hard, and I think he's going to go up there and try to catch those leaders as well.
Absolutely. We're going to see if they can hook up. If they can get on the line and maybe hook up and get going. Right now, Daniel Falkenham and Steve Goschalk, they're kind of pacing their way up front. Still got Richard there in that final transfer, but he's actually pulling away from Tim, who is back in the fourth place spot.
Yes, he has. I was actually looking back in the field and looking at some of our front starters. Good old Reed Rundell here, a good friend of mine. Reed and I have talked quite a bit. He's been really good to me in iRacing. Looking at him, he started up front, and those tires just aren't holding out. And that's kind of one of those things that I've seen with this new tire model that iRacing has, is that if you abuse the tires early, they just won't come back to you whatsoever.
They will not. You're right, and that's the biggest thing a lot of drivers talked about is the tires here. Last night's race was awesome. Had a tire limit. Is now we got a battle actually for the fourth and fifth place. Mark Allen on the move on the high side there, and almost a little contact between them two. Tim Knotts takes it back to fifth, but you're right, the tires will fall off over time if you don't. There's a fine line between in a heat race. You've got to run that car hard because you only got a short amount of time as far as laps go. Speaking of laps, we only got about 9 more here left. But you also got to be mindful of your tires because by the time that 9 laps gets there, you can use them. Thing about it is, you see where Daniel Falkenham and Steve Goschalk, they've got a pretty good lead over Richard Beasley. Does he have enough time? He might be able to catch him, but catching and passing, let me get it out, it's two different things.
Yeah, I tell you, I mean, I've seen a couple of laps here. Richard's been the fastest car on the track. But Daniel Faulkner and Steve Gottschalk, they're just kind of drafting up there together. They're not really pushing it. And, I think, right here this last lap, Daniel Faulkner turned to 30.999 and Richard Beasley turned to 30.896. I just don't think that's going to be enough for him to get up there before the end of this race. We only got 7 laps left.
Yeah, 7 laps here, short style heat here. Top 3 advance in. Daniel Falkenham's out front. Steve Goschalk's there. Richard Beasley sitting in 3rd. I just don't think Richard's got enough time to maybe catch up. But, again, doesn't really have to. He's sitting there in 3rd. They've got a huge lead over Mark Allen, who was sitting back in 4th. Now, don't count the other guys out. You know, from 4th on back, these guys still will be able to have another shot. They'll be able to get, you know, they should be able to go into the consolation races and have a shot to advance there. So their hopes aren't, you know, diminished by not being able to get it here in their first heat. It's just they're going to have to, you know, kind of a long way around race their way in.
Yeah, that's for sure. And you know, it's going to be interesting to see how all this works out in the end.
It will. So Mark right there, he understands he's got a very fast machine sitting in 4th. Now would be the time. If I was a guy maybe sitting like Mark or Neil or Tim or any of them guys back there, I'm sitting here going, okay, I know I'm probably not going to get to that 3rd place. Let me see what my car is like now. What do I got to do later on in one of these runs so that when I do go into one of the consolation races later and have another shot to get in that feature, how do I run the car? Now it's kind of a test session with them at this point, unless, you know, obviously the top 3 just kind of wipe out and wreck.
Yeah, it looks like the bottom is definitely where you need to be. And I've watched the Mark. It's like he's about a car off the bottom. So,
yeah, at first of it, they were traveling maybe the middle side of the track there. You see Richard's trying to move in, but the draft's working so well for Daniel and Steve up front. And like you was talking about Mark right there, everybody's kind of moved down low as we're closing in on about 3 to go here in heat race number 1 here tonight. Daniel Falkenham in a little bit of controversy last night. I don't know if he's going to be like, hey, should I say anything? But right there, block put on. Steve Goschalk has run behind him long enough. He's going to see. Now, this is what Richard wants him to do up there. If them two get up there, start battling with each other, and Daniel starts, you know, weaving all over the place, that's going to close in Richard here in the last parts. We could have a 3-car battle for the lead. But Daniel last night, we had a tire limit last night in the truck series, kick-ass beef jerky. Well, Daniel Falkenham won the race. Problem is there was a glitch that actually iRacing knows about now and is going to put out a patch to fix with the tire limit deals, and it affected Daniel. Short and simple, he got DQ'd on his win, and it was handed to Anthony DeBarro. So, a little bit of a kind of a drama on that one. No fault on Daniel's end, just one of those things that happened. But just unfortunate, it's like real NASCAR. You know, crew chiefs sometimes can cost drivers, and the driver has nothing to do with it in real racing. And Bryce, you know that. I know that. We've seen it many a time. So it's just like Daniel. iRacing had an issue with the tires. Nothing he could do, but unfortunately it cost him a win last night. But he's seeing if he can't be a little bit of redemption as the white flag flies one more time here at Charlotte.
Yeah, buddy. You know, I'm going to see if Anthony DeBarro really tries to make a run here. He did enter 1 and 2 a little high, trying to get that momentum up, get that run off of the bottom. Let's see what he does down here in 3 and 4. If possible, his best bet's going to be to get underneath him.
Yeah, I just don't think he's quite close enough to dive it in there. He's got to worry about, didn't want to do anything or overdrive the turn, let Richard get up there. But at a turn 4 final time, Daniel Falkenham's going to win heat race 1. That's going to put Steve Goschalk in 2nd. Richard Beasley's going to round up the top 3 here. So that's your 3 drivers that will advance to the feature part tomorrow night. All the other guys are not out of it. Mark Allen and company back there in 4th on down to 9th. They'll have one more shot here in the consolation races. So let's see. What's up, old Matthew? Plan to save your tires for the 10 lap and then push it. There you go. Not the one.
Oh, yeah. So I really don't know. Are we going to interview our top finisher here?
Well, the problem with doing it, I don't know, we probably can here as soon as we get started. The problem with the heat race format is they go so fast. that's my.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They're boom, boom, boom with the heat race format. We'll see if we can't get one of them up here, maybe during a caution. Hopefully there is no cautions, but if there's a caution, maybe here or so forth, we might try to get one of them up here. It's almost like in dirt racing in heats. They go by so darn quick. really hard to get them up. But nonetheless, Heat Race 2. Got a few names in here we know about. Brian Yatkins?
Yazik.
Yakas? Okay.
Brian Yazik. Yeah, Brian and I used to race together as teammates back a couple years ago. We ran ASRS and a league called iRock, the iRacing Online Championship together. Man, Brian's a fast driver. I was really surprised when he didn't make the field. Him and John Sterling as well are both really, really fast drivers that I've got a lot of background with, and we've known each other for a long time. Lee Staples I've known for a long time, and Tommy Ryan, man. We're all real good friends, so this is going to be a fun one right here for sure.
Yeah, and you talk about it, I got Donnie Lee up there. Everybody knows him. He's a past champion in the NASCAR series and modifieds. You know, Matthew Welzenbach right there, John Sterling, Don Runkle Jr., Jeff Glockner, Lee Staples, as you mentioned, Lewis Sarabia? Lewis? I'm going to just say Lewis. And then Tommy Ryan.
Yeah.
We'll just stick with Lewis.
Sorry about
right?
that, Lewis. We're just old country white boys.
That's me all the time. Pace cars in. We're going racing here at Charlotte. Heat Race 2. Remember, top 3 guys go to the feature here. The other guys will get another shot in the consolations later on. Right now, Donnie Leah out front.
Donnie Leah almost got a jump there on Brian Yazik. We're going to see what happens. Brian, I really feel like he wasn't on his game, but looks like he might still get it here out of turn 2. We'll see what happens on the backstretch because Donnie's got a ton of steam on that high side.
They got the 88 machine up there, John Sterling, too. See, it's 2x2 battle. 3 wide out of the turn. No, that's not going to work. You
John
just saw it.
Just a little bit too hard. Got super wide right there.
Did. I see that outside. Almost got Matthew Welson back there along with him. But, man, John tried to make it 3 wide for the moment. Still battle for the lead. Donnie Lee and Brian there tackling it, coming out of 4. This is a good race here for Heat Race 2.
Oh, yeah, man. This is a great race so far. It looks like Brian's going to fall in right there behind Donnie Leah and see what they can do. But Matthew Walzenbach is going to go for it. He's going to try and get that second place away from Brian Yazik.
He's going to look on the inside.
Sterling, man. John Sterling is going to take advantage of that and see what he can do on the outside.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are mixing it up early. I think they have the mindset of, Matthew said, contact.
John getting too close there, just barely touching with Walzenbach, man.
Yeah, just doored him. That's going to get him man up there. Now, Matthew just said he was going to be careful the first 10 laps. Well, I'll tell you what, he's going for it the first 10 laps.
Oh, yeah, he is, for sure.
He's hanging on to that third place right now. Maybe he's trying to just fake everybody out and tell everybody he was going to delay back, but he's going all out right now. Top 3 guys trying their single file. Battles on for 4th back here. Tommy Ryan, Don Runkle Jr. You still got John Sterling in the mix there. Lewis in there and Lee. Well, those guys are going to try to get back up there and see what they can do.
Yeah, and I was really surprised with Tommy in the back. I was expecting him to be a top 5 car in qualifying, but he fell out. So he's having to start from the rear, but Tommy can get it done. He races with that VR stuff on, looks like Darth Vader.
Oh, absolutely. Tommy last night did an outstanding job there in the Truck Series. Definitely have seen him time and time again. Matthew's still hanging on to the 3rd place spot. You see Tommy closing in. That's just the momentum part we was talking about. For a moment, Matthew went on the inside of Brian, and when he did, side by side, it allowed Tommy to actually get back up there to the deck lid. We're going to see if Matthew's going to try that again. He goes up the track, loses a little bit. Here comes Tommy to the inside.
Oh, yeah, man. Tommy Ryan's a great driver. He's very conservative. This is just like him to wait for Matthew to make a mistake before he makes his move. Sometimes that helps him and sometimes that hurts him. But, yeah, Tommy's a great driver for sure.
And he made that pass. He's up to 3rd right now. He's going to try to look for more. Matthew falls back into the 4th place in the clutches of John Sterling, who is back in 5th. These guys are mixing it up here. Donnie Lee is still the man out front. He's got that 29 machine looking good. Brian right there riding in the tire tracks. He's going to have Tommy Ryan here in a few, though. Let's see if Tommy wants to push the issue or he's content to ride where he is till maybe the end. And remember, the top 3 advance. And with a track like Charlotte, you could get up there and you could say, you know what, I might have a fast car. I might want to go for the lead. The problem is when you do, you lose so much momentum. Like here, we're going to see with Brian. Watch it bring Tommy into the mix here just by them being side by side. It's a fine line. Do you want to risk it or not?
Tommy's going to take advantage. He's pulling right up there on Brian Yazik. It's let him get in this mix. You know, I don't know Matthew I don't know Matthew very well, but I know, or I don't know Donnie very well, but I know Brian and Tommy, and neither one of them are going to be content with sitting in second place or third place if they can get the win.
Well, absolutely, and that's the thing. I mean, you definitely want to get the win. All racers definitely out there want to drive. A little early yet, but now you see a good battle going on back here for fourth place. Matthew right there along with John. They're going to go door to door, taking a little bit of battle. It's going to bring Lewis into the mix. It's just the momentum of this track. If you just give up just a little bit to the inside, and you saw it right there with Matthew. Him and John was side by side, and allowed Lewis to drop to the inside there and take that position. Well, he ain't took it yet, but he's able to open the door and go. Now he's taking that position away from him.
Problem with John is that little door bang that he had earlier really knocked him back. He's about a half a second or 3/4 of a second behind Tommy Ryan. This is going to be tough to make up that time here in the 10 laps we've got left in the race.
The only way, like we said earlier, that he might could do it, is since he's out there in clean air running kind of his own race, is if they get up there and battle. And, you know, it's not unheard of, but you already see Donnie Leah kind of moving away.
And they're 3 wide off of 4.
Yeah, and here's my thing with what we're seeing. Oh, and they're crashing. Don Runkle Jr., he's going through the infield along with old Lee Staples. No caution out right now. Nope, we're still in the green because they're able to stay rolling. But yeah, Don Runkle Jr. and them got together coming out of 4.
That could have been John Sterling's ticket to getting back up there and racing in here on this heat race.
It could.
You know, maybe something else will happen here in the near future. But yeah, I feel like that was an opportunity missed for him.
Here's the thing, and what I was going to try to touch on before what happened there is you see Donnie Leah, you see Brian, he moves up to the rear bumper every once in a while with Donnie. He knows he's locked into it. Again, he would love to win it if he could get to run. He's not feeling any pressure from Tommy Ryan. Tommy's kind of dropped off the pace, and actually John, if Tommy keeps falling off like he is, John could have enough time and momentum to catch him. Tommy at this point is probably at some point he's going to get into fence mode. I know he's going to have to. He's going to see, look, I'm not going to catch the top 2 guys unless they start racing hard. But I got to defend this 3rd place because I want to make it into that show tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, all these guys want to make it into the show, especially guys like Brian and Tommy and John Sterling, because we've been friends for a long time. I'd love to see him make the show, but as I've always said, it's you race. And you got to have the speed to make it. So,
and right now, Donnie Leah's got it. The speed to definitely make it right now. Matthew has fallen off the pace way back in 6. Brian right there sitting in the 2nd place. Tommy Ryan's hanging on to 3rd, which is the transfer spot. And it looks like John Sterling, he is trying, but he's just not making up any ground here. Let's actually look at the lap times between the top here. And you can see the top 4 guys, lap time wise, top 2 guys they ran almost identical lap times. I mean, they're within hundredths of a second of each other. And and I know now it looks like Donnie, well, he made a 31.195 to a 31.323. The Tommy's 31.276. John ran a 31.4. All those guys are within a tenth of each other. That tells me that you're not going to see any one of these drivers just kind of blast through the front. They're all running, one's faster, the other one's faster. I think you're right earlier what you said there, Bryce. They're going to need a caution here to bunch this field up in order for them to get up there and maybe have a hope to get that 3rd place.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, right now Tommy Ryan's running a 31.4 and John Sterling's running a 31.7. So, Tommy's still got some of that draft. John's kind of in no man's land right there in between 3rd and 5th. So just kind of one of those deals. But John's still got a fast car. I'm sure he can race into one of those consolation races and still make it to tomorrow's main event.
And that's what you say. It's not, they're not done. Their hopes are not, dashed. They still have a shot, like you said, with consolation races later on to be able to get it done. It's only the top 3 in these heats is the thing that actually make it into that feature. And right now that would be Donnie Leah, Brian, and Tommy Ryan sitting right there. The top 3, as Tommy, like I say, it's just kind of just falling off. And I feel at this moment, top 3 guys understand we're not going to make any ground. Let's kind of put it in a protection mode here, see what we've got. And just see John, unfortunately, back and forth. If he could have just get up to those bumpers, he knows he might have one shot, but not out of it. Totally, anyways.
Yeah, while everybody's kind of spread out here, I do want to kind of talk about,
Sure.
people have asked me where the Neverquit came from. And actually what it was back in 2016 when Hendrick was really down, a guy came and met with us and talked about Neverquit. If you've ever seen the movie about, I can't think of the name of it now, but the soldiers who were trapped over in Afghanistan, and he was the only guy of his unit to survive, lone survivor. He came and talked with us, and his whole thing that he talked about was never quit. And, that year Jimmy Johnson ended up winning his 7th championship. That was my first year at Hendrick. It was a really big deal. And the following year I got diagnosed with leukemia. Everybody kept asking me, what was it? Was it Bryce Strong? Was it, what were we going to celebrate? And, I told him, no, this is never quit. We're not quitting. We're going to push, and we're going to push, and we're going to do everything we can to cure this disease. And so that's kind of where the Never Quit came from. So if you haven't seen it, definitely go out and see Lone Survivor. It's a great movie. Talks about their journey, and it's a true story. And so definitely, that's kind of where the Never Quit came from. Congratulations to Donnie Leah for winning our 2nd heat race. Brian Yazik finishing 2nd, Tommy Ryan 3rd, John Sterling finishing a respectable 4th, and Louis D. Sarbia finishing out the top 5.
Absolutely, and you're right there. Donnie Leah putting in victory lane, and Tommy Ryan's going to be the 3rd man there. Going in, well, we're going to heat race number 3 here. Got some good drivers up in this one. Brian Wortman, got Brandon Key, Jeff Ryan, Shane Ewing, Todd Kirkwood, Tyler Page, Jonathan Mitchum, Jonathan Cadell, and Glenn Campbell. Excuse me. I know some of these guys, some of them I don't. Tyler, Brandon Keys probably, and Jonathan are probably the 3 that I don't know. The rest of them I'm pretty familiar with.
Tyler Page is actually Tyler Page is a funny story. Tyler found me actually a couple years ago. He wanted to come work for Hendrick, and I had already been diagnosed. I was back at home on disability, but I kind of talked with him, and he's been a really good resource for me as somebody to talk to, and I'm so glad to see him come out tonight and race. He's not a huge iRacer, but he wanted to come out and support me, so I really appreciate that.
Nice.
That was awesome of seeing Tyler Page come out.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Like you just said, it looks like Glenn Campbell didn't make the field here, so we got some heavy hitters. I got to give a little shout out to old Brian Wortman. I tell you what, that guy, I really hope he makes the field here and has a shot. Brian Wortman comes out week in and week out. Now, his story is amazing, too, just like what you talked with George there, Bryce. A guy, came in with a disability, works in NASCAR. It's awesome to read. If you get a chance, look him up and look up his story. But he comes out week in and week out. Not one of the fastest guys out there, but he loves the racing. He loves coming out here competing. He just has fun. We'll have to see what he does up front here. That's what I'm going to tell you. He's got some fast guys. Jeff Ryan, Shane Ewing right there. Shane Ewing is another interesting one. I know Shane's mom actually, we'll get to the start here, and I'm going to tell you a funny story about Shane when I do some of the races here. But he's got a lot of fast guys. Jonathan Cadell right there behind him. And I used to call him Jonathan Cottle for some reason, but
I did too.
I know. So he corrected me on that one. I was like, hey, yeah, that's right. So it's Cadell. I got you. As we get on this here, like green flag.
Green flag. Wortman got a heck of a push from Jeff Ryan there at the beginning. They're going to just power past Brandon Key. He just got left. you know, Shane Ewing just kind of left Brian Key out to dry. So we're going to see what happens here. Looks like that might not work out great for Shane because he's stuck back there and doesn't have a drafting partner right now.
Doesn't have one, but he does pull up on the back end of Brandon. The top 4 guys are all nose to tail. We go back to what I was talking about with Shane Ewing right there. When I first saw his name, I said it how it was spelled. I would say Shane Ewing. And Mom watches, and I didn't know that. Well, I got to interview Shane real quick, and as he makes the pass here for third, or trying to, I got to interview Shane one time, and he said, I also want to tell you my mom watches the broadcast, and she kind of was like up and down. She said, can you please tell the guy that your name is not Ewing, it is Ewing. It is like the J.R. Ewing. I said, you tell Mom I will get that right for her. So, Mom out there probably watching as Shane right now is outside looking in for the moment. He's trying to get up to Brandon. But, yeah, kind of a back and forth thing. It's funny, but I've always liked family members supporting, and I hope that a lot of them are out there watching. They're rooting on their favorite drivers. Good battle right now, man. Brian Wortman's looking strong up front with Jeff Ryan in second. Brandon Keys, he's trying to hang on to that third place there. Shane's all over. Here comes Todd Kirkwood, though, up in the 4th place spot.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is actually a huge surprise. You know, I really expected Jonathan Cattell to get up here as the number 32 of Shane Ewing dives under the 9 of Jeff Ryan there to get the 3rd place.
He's going to try.
Brandon Key, I'm sorry, to get 3rd place.
Well, you know and I know that a track like this, yes, you can be fast, but the problem is when you get marred back in traffic, it is very hard to pass here, too. It's a momentum-style track. These cars don't react as well. iRacing, I've always said it's the realest thing without spending millions of dollars to go real racing. And you see Shane right now trying to take that 2nd place spot. He might bring Brandon Keys with him. You talk about Jonathan. He's back there marred in 6th place spot, just not been able to make up any ground. Got Todd right there with him. Let's have to see. Maybe he's saving a little tires for later on in the run.
Yeah, that's possible. I'll tell you what, Shane Ewing is flexing his muscles right now. He just got under the number 3 of Jeff Ryan. Ooh, they got close in that corner. We're going to see what happens here as they go down the back stretch. They kind of spread out a little bit. That might actually help Jonathan catch them.
It will, and I've said it earlier in the past, as long as these guys stay side by side, it's going to benefit the gentleman behind them racing, and it's also going to benefit Brian Wortman, who's just going to set sail up front. And if he gets too far ahead later on in the race, that's just going to help him out even more.
Ooh,
Brandon Keys, yeah, they do. It's going to allow Brandon Keys to get up under him.
Number 3.
Going to let Brandon Keys get up under him.
Wide coming out of the corner. Man, this is getting tight.
Well, this is what you got to do. This is absolutely what you got to do. It's go time. You've got to make it up. You've got to get every advantage you can. Jonathan right there in 4th. He sees 3rd place Brandon Keys in his front view mirror. Does he got enough to be able to make this make it up and get into the show tomorrow night?
I'll tell you what, that one little mistake there on Jeff Ryan's part is what's going to cost him possibly getting into the race on this heat. As you see Jonathan Cattell right there going under the number 9 Brandon Key. Jonathan Cattell, I know Jonathan and I have had a lot of ups and downs in the past, but he told me before this that he really wanted to get in and support me, and you know, there he goes, 3rd place.
Well, he is locked in right now. As long as he's able to stay straight, keep that thing going where it is. He's in the 3rd place spot, looking good, man, in that number. And we got a car. Shane actually blinked out. See if he comes back. Actually, Shane Ewing.
Oh man, that'd be a terrible way to lose out on this race if Shane Ewing blinks out.
He did. You know what? And let's see. Yeah, he's out. Shane Ewing hasn't disconnected, but it's showing him out of the race. And right now, that would put Jonathan Cattell in 2nd, Brandon Keys in the 3rd place spot. So unfortunately, Shane Ewing out. And, you know, we kind of contribute that to basically in real racing as mechanical failures.
Mechanical failure.
Yeah, we're in a virtual world. You know, things happen. You know, power outages, internet problems, Mother Nature. Some things out of our hand. I've had it happen in broadcast. A lot of drivers have had it happen. But we kind of say, okay, you know, that's our equivalent in the virtual world to, let's say, a battery dying, tire blowing, motor blowing up or so forth, like in the real world. Just unfortunate Shane Ewing there in second, locked into the show, and now just technical difficulties. He's out.
Yeah, that's terrible. That reminds me of the NASCAR 2003 days. You could be running along in the top 5 and all of a sudden just blow up.
And it can happen. Now, you could do that here in iRacing. It's really hard to do, but we'll just have to see. Either way, Jonathan Goodell is now the man sitting in second place. Brian Wortman is up in first. Brandon Keys in third. That's your top 3 locked in. Let's see if Todd Kirkwood, though, man, can get up there and do anything.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Todd Kirkwood and Jeff Ryan kind of lost the draft right there, as well as Tyler Page. They kind of all lost the draft, and when the 3 of Jeff Ryan got into Shane Ewing, I think that kind of checked everybody up, and so unfortunately they're pretty far back right now. They're a little over a second and a half behind Brandon Key with only 7 laps left. I don't see him catching him, unfortunately.
Biggest thing is I think Kendall probably could catch Brian up front here. He's got Brandon. He's going to have to worry about that, though. I've said it time and time again. This place is a little hard to pass. You might be able to catch a guy by getting around him. And once he goes to try to get around Brian, you can see Brandon right there is going to try to utilize everything he can to maybe see if he can't sneak in there and take that spot away and maybe take the win here as they're closing in. We're about to have a 3-car battle up here for the front.
Yeah, Goodell's rolling.
Yeah, we are.
He backed that corner up and just drove through the middle of 3 and 4.
Oh yeah, Goodell is flying. He has saved his stuff and he's flying. He's definitely one of the fastest cars on the track right now. I think he basically laid back there at the beginning, and yeah, there he is. He goes the inside of Brian Wortman. I think he's going to go for the lead right here.
He is. He's got his nose on the inside, going to the turn, door to door. He's going to make short work of it, and that's the key right there. He was able to get around him fast. If he would have went maybe several laps side by side, it allowed Brandon to get up there and battle with him. So that pass, been able to make it so quick right there, helped him out tremendously. Jonathan up front. Brian Wortman's hanging on to second. Brandon Keys up to third. Again, I got to give a hats off there to old Brian Wortman. It's good to see him. If he stays where he is or in the top 3, he locks himself into tomorrow night's race. It's an inspirational story. Like I said, yours there, man, Bryce, and Brian's. I've followed his career here to Sim500 for quite some time, so it's awesome to see there. Brandon Keys, though, he's going to see if he can't, lock it up. See if he can get in a second. As O'Brien's hanging on there to second for the moment. Brandon's up in third. Jeff Ryan back in the 5th place spot. Todd Kirkwood there in 4th. Tyler Page in the 6th place. And you got Jonathan Mitchum up in 7th. And unfortunately, Shane Ewing earlier on, along with Glenn Campbell, out of it here tonight in the heat race. Now, if Shane is able to get, logged back in, his night's not done. He can obviously get back into the consolation races and try to race his way back in with those.
Yeah, that's what he's going to have to do. Actually, I see where he reconnected in the server right now. So, they went back in the garage. They made the repairs. He's back out on track. So, we'll just have to see how he can do in the consolation races here after the last heat.
Yeah, now it's pretty much a race of just to see what the car will do and so forth. It's just so unfortunate that you had a fast machine. Not saying that he would have been locked in, because you never know what would have happened in the top 3 either way. But now he knows he's not locked in just by technical difficulties. Everybody's had them. Obviously, we chalk it up in the virtual world just like real world. Everybody has some issues. Brian Wortman still doing an outstanding job hanging on to 2nd place. Jonathan Goodell's our leader. Brandon Keys right there in 3rd. And it looks like Brandon, I'm not going to say he's content to ride there, but he's looking very comfortable. And I think if the opening opens up right, he's going to try to see if he can't take it. But white flag one more time here and heat race number 3 for us tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. I think Brandon would take it if it was opened up for him. But, it looks like Brian's going to keep it going straight. And, congratulations. You're going to go to Jonathan Goodell here for winning heat race number 3. We're going to have Brian Wortman here in second, and Brandon Key finishing third.
Absolutely awesome run by those guys, and hats off to the top three there. So we'll head it off to heat race number 4. Hope everybody's enjoying it here tonight. We got the Neverquit 240 up here. It's qualifying night for us. Tomorrow night is the feature, and it's going to kind of be an all-star race-style feature tomorrow night, so definitely tune in for that. It will be awesome racing. Heat race and the final heat race here tonight. Again, the number 3 drivers are going to make it here 20 laps. We got Anthony Calatoni out front. Brody Hayes starting up there in the second. Mike Maltesi going to be up in the third. Michael Krobach, I hope I said that right, starting in fourth. Jeffrey Gilliam up in fifth. Mark Mears there in sixth. I'm going to say Sean Coran, starting in seventh. Scott Kerberg. And I know I'm messing up probably some of these guys' names. I do apologize if y'all go back in and listen. And John Mustaine Jr. is in around the 9th place spot here. 9 drivers out here for this one. Again, 3 of them are going to advance out 20 laps. It's been some good heat races so far, guys.
Yeah, it's some great races so far. I can't complain whatsoever. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this next race here. Brody Hayes there starting in second. Him and I used to race real cars together. We used to race cars called mini cups. Really good time there racing with Brody. I've raced with Michael Krobach. Michael Krobach started racing with me way back in a league called Neoska.
Okay.
It doesn't even exist anymore. Oh man, it looks like Jeffrey Gilliam just had a received throughput fell to unacceptable level. Oh man, that's like having an oil line come loose right when you're getting ready to go out on the track, man. That's something else.
Yeah, and it can happen,
Jeffrey Gilliam, if you aren't familiar with Jeff, he's actually the developer of sim racing apps. That you can, if you go to simracingapps.com, I think it is, you can download.
No, I didn't know that. Wow.
You can download his program. It's really cool. It's got a lot of functionality. Jeff's a really smart guy.
Yeah, I did not know that. I know the app. I know a lot of sim racers that use it, but heck, I didn't know he actually made it. So that's kind of cool. And unfortunately, maybe he would be like, don't tell a lot of people that, because now my internet just failed on me. So I'm a master engineer and programmer, but yet my computer just fell throughput.
Yep.
Now he wants to go hide under a rock. That's probably what he wants to do.
I think he uses Brian Yazek's voice, or did.
Yeah,
okay.
For his pit countdown. Yeah, Brian Yazek's voice is his pit countdown. Here we go, guys. We're getting ready to start this race. Anthony Calatoni on the front row with Brody Hayes. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's been a good one so far. It's the final fourth heat race. Yeah, it did. Man, I saw that on the start.
Man,
it's been good.
Brody and Michael Krobach took advantage. Man,
they got
that's
to.
Unfortunate for Anthony.
Hey, they got to get up there somehow. Short 20 laps, it goes away pretty quickly. But Anthony going to fall back at third. He's still safe. Mike Matesi right there sitting in fourth. Behind him, Sean. He's going to try to see if he can die, but no, doesn't get it done. And that's a perfect example of what I was talking about, guys, right there. You saw Sean try to just overdrive that turn, and that car got awful tight, and he lost a lot of momentum to him.
Yeah, I'm watching these leaders. I'm surprised that Anthony Calatoni was able to do what he did there and keep up with these guys. But he's staying right there. It looks like he's actually going to make a pass on the number 72 of Michael Krobach for second place, and Michael just let him go.
Yeah, good battle, though, back in about fourth and fifth. Man, I tell you what, Sean's, he's been giving Mike a hard time. True.
Yeah.
Hey, that's why they call them heat races, right, guys?
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now. I mean, it looks like ever since Anthony passed Michael there, we've got Michael, Mike, and Sean are all right there. And Mike's going to give Michael a push, possibly. No, he left him out to dry. Wow,
he did.
I'm surprised at that. I think if he would have kept pushing him, they could have got underneath Anthony Calatoni together.
And you got Brody Hayes out front. He's feeling pressure by Anthony. Mike and Michael right there. They're going to go door to door. We got a battle for the lead and battle for second, third. And look at that. They just kind of swap positions. Again, just like Cadell did earlier, he was able to get around him fast and clean. That's what you want to do here because you will lose a lot of momentum. But, boy, it is some tight racing for the top 3 and 4 spots.
Man, I'll tell you, this has been the tightest racing I think we've had in these heat races so far. So, man, Anthony Calatoni made a couple of great passes there to get to the front. We've got Mike Montesi in second, Brody Hayes in third, and Michael Kerbach in fourth, and Sean
Coran. Yeah, I'm going to say Coran or Coran. I'm going to say it that way.
Fifth, man.
Apologize either way, Sean.
Yeah, well, I'm glad y'all pronouncing people.
Well, and I've that's been one of my short things here in broadcasting for a long time, and I always tell the drivers, say, look, I apologize on the last names, and a lot of them work with me on it. Again, some of these guys I'm not familiar with, some I am. But I tell you right now, Sean looking good back in fifth, Michael right there in fourth. Looks like they've settled down just a little bit.
Tell you what, Brody Hayes is going to make a move right here on Mike Montesi. I see it. Brody's got a lot of speed. He's backing up his corners to get that run off the bottom. He gets a heck of a run down the straightaway compared to the other two. Just using that. And there he goes to the outside. I knew he was going to try and do something.
And he goes up underneath him, takes the pass away. Mike moves it up into second. Brody falls back to third. Well, it is a good, outstanding battle of the top 3. Here comes Brody. He's going to peek to the inside and see if he can do anything on turn 3 and 4.
Well, and you see, now this might open up the door for Michael Krobach as well, because if Brody gets under there and Michael can get up to him and give him a little push, that'll help Michael get by Mike as well.
It's going to keep them all close. You're right. And the more that they stay side by side in contact going into one, it definitely helps old Michael and Sean back there. They're loving what they're seeing. If I'm sitting on the outside like Mike Montesi right there, I'm definitely going to be feeling the heat here soon, because the longer he stays on the outside, the more it reels in Michael back there, and he's going to get up underneath him. Then he's going to have a battle on his hands for third.
Yeah, I tell you, Mike Montesi's really burning his stuff up on the outside, but so's Brody Hayes. This is really going to give an opportunity to Michael Krobach to get up there and pass both of them, actually.
And if they just keep battling right there, though, you see Mike's not done with Brody. Actually, Anthony's loving everything he's seeing in his rearview mirror. So the guys just keep, pounding on each other back there. Now we got a 3-car battle for that second, third place spot here. As you see, Mike moves to the back deck lid of Brody. Not right now. Here comes Michael to the inside. The door was open. He's going to run through it.
Yeah, Montesi got tight.
Yeah, Montesi got tight coming off of 3 and 4 and had to lift, and Krobach's going to take advantage. That'll put Krobach there into the third spot. Let's see what Montesi does if he's able to pull in right there behind him.
Yeah,
yes, he is. So, Montesi should probably just sit back there, let his tires cool off a little bit, and get ready to make another charge.
Now he's got to worry about Sean behind him, though, and that's the thing.
I don't think Sean's going to let him. Oh, man.
Man. Yeah,
Sean
I wonder.
just took big advantage.
How long does it take for these tires to cool down?
It's going to take a while. It's going to take whoa, contact up front. Boy, Brody Hayes got into the leader, and that's going to get him all kind of sideways and open the door for Brody. He's going to run right through it and take the lead. Boy, Anthony right there got all kind of out of shape. He saved the car. But you mentioned right there a minute, DJ, talking about how long does it take. The problem is, if we're in a long race, yes, you would have time to probably let the tires cool down. Really on a 20-lap sprint, so to speak. Don't have a lot. Once you abuse them,
yeah,
it's pretty much gone.
I kind of went back and looked at that, and what really happened was Brody was right on the outside coming up on Anthony, and Anthony just clipped that grass a little bit and sent him up the track and kind of touched Brody's left front. I don't think any of them have any major damage, but you can definitely see on Anthony DeBarro that right rear fascia is kicked up just a little bit, and that's definitely not what you want back there. That's going to really hurt the side force on that car and slow him down in the center of the corner.
Yeah, make it tight, and you're already tight coming off of 4 at this track anyways. It's going to send you up the track, and you can see it already kind of hinder him just a little bit there. He's not been able to make the move back up to Brody. Still safe, though, sitting in the second place spot there, Anthony is. Michael, though, on his back tailgate. Don't count Sean out. We still got some laps left here. We still got about a good solid 7 or 6 more laps left. It's a lot of time for Sean to make some moves. and if Anthony makes a Roman. You can see that car pushing out of 4. You already pushed so bad here, and that leaves an opening there for Michael to try to go on the inside.
Yeah, it looks like Krobach's going to take inside going down into the corner. Anthony leaves him plenty of room, but Krobach, I don't think he's going to be able to do it right there. He can't quite get up and get beside him in the center of the corner. Unfortunately, Krobach's going to take a different line through the center and try to get some momentum, and if he's going to catch Anthony.
Yeah, it is. Well, you can always tell the biggest thing with Charlotte, going in the middle, you can get something done very quickly down low. It's the middle off that you know, usually the high line will kind of prevail unless you just, you know, obviously have that fast or you lose a lot of momentum up high. And that's what we're seeing. Yeah, Michael could get on the inside of him, just can't complete that pass through the whole turn because Anthony's able to pull it off of the turns. But that brings Sean into the picture. We mentioned it before, so don't count him out. Remember, the top 3 guys go on to the feature tomorrow night.
Yeah, I tell you what, and Sean just got a little tight right there behind Krobach. Krobach's going to go to the inside, make that move, I think. Yeah, he is. He's got it. Anthony's going to see if Anthony's going to put up a fight here. You know, they got Sean right there behind him, so this is going to be one of the closest battles we've had.
Yeah, it is.
There's only
right
4
there.
laps to go.
Battle for second, too, and that's just Brody Hayes is checked out up front. There, he's long gone. The battle here's for second and third. You got Sean in the mix there outside looking in, and he would love to say, okay, what's the 2 guys in front of me going to do here? He might see if he can't go to the outside. Now they go back single files. Mike Krobach right there has to fall back in line. Still Sean there. It's not over with between these guys.
Oh, yeah. Krobach right there took a different line. He's trying to learn a little bit off of what Sean's doing behind him. Take a little bigger arc into the center of the corner to help it drive off. But, yeah, Anthony's starting to pull away. I think Anthony was saving his tires there and just keeping Krobach behind him just enough, letting Krobach run his stuff through. You know, I think we're going to have a good battle here for the 3rd transfer position.
Well, it's the one and done on that transfer position. Like you said, in 3rd place, Sean is there. He just needs a little bit more to get up there to Mike. We're going to see if we can get it done. Brody's still checking out. We're going to have about 2 to go here. Is Sean got enough to maybe make Michael make a mistake? He's gotten up to his back bumper a couple times, just not been able to get there. He goes to the high lane. He drove it into that turn.
Oh, yeah, he really overdrove that corner. That's going to hurt him, but you know, it might give him just enough momentum to help him get up there, getting into this turn 1, but no, not quite.
Yeah, he goes in high, just seeing if he can't. He has lost a little bit of ground of coming up on the white flag here. Man out front, Brody Hayes has got it on lockdown. Anthony there in 2nd. The transfer spot here in 3rd. Does Michael still have enough to hold off a hard-charging Sean? They're coming through here for one more time for the white flag.
Man, Sean caught him a lot right there coming out of 3 and 4. It just looked like Michael wasn't able to get back to the gas as soon as he liked. Michael's going to throw the block down the front stretch, and here they go into turn 1.
Boy, you saw right there, Sean did everything he could to see if he can't get a momentum charge on him. Kind of got that car all kind of sideways and lost some, spots away from him. Michael has it going down the backstretch to the final time here in turn 3 and 4. I just don't think Sean's got enough to get close to him, and I think that final transfer spot's going to hang on to Michael. Brody Hayes is going to win it here in Heat Race 4, the final one. As right there, man, Michael's going to hang on to 3rd. What a race here in this one.
Man, that was the best race I think we've had here so far in these heat races. But, yeah, congratulations to Brody Hayes up front there. Glad to see him winning this one. Anthony Calatoni did a great job there finishing 2nd. And Michael Krobach, buddy, I'm glad to see you hang on to it. You know, we've raced together for a long time. Glad to see you transfer into the final race.
Yeah, he is, and he's definitely going to transfer into tomorrow night's heat there. Well, that's going to bring us up to some consolidations. I always get a trip when they say the consolidation races because they're actually B main, C main races. But when they say, because I said, what are we giving away here? We're giving away some candy or free prizes or something. so it always gets me when they say consolation races. So I guess it's a free stuff, man. But either way, 11 drivers here on this one. 20 laps again. Top 3. Is that right? Top 3 or top 4? I have to look at the flyer again, folks. I apologize. Yes, I know. Beat up the announcer. I'm not prepared. Last minute here, and I appreciate DJ and the guys here at Sim500 to let me bring us on here for the Neverquit 240 here tonight for Bryce Whitson. And, Bryce is up here in the booth with me along with DJ up here. Appreciate you guys, man, coming up here. And so far tonight's been an awesome race. 11 drivers here, and actually looks like 10 drivers. One didn't make it. Ian Fraser did not grid up on the field. But we talked about drivers in this one who we saw in some of the heats. This is their last chance to make it. From my understanding, I don't think that if you don't make it here, you transfer into the next consolation. We only have 2 of them. So if you don't make it here, this is your last chance to making it. Normally in an alpha belt run, if you don't make it, you can run to the next one and so forth. But I think this is your last chance. So guys like Shane Ewing, up there running in second place, had technical difficulties. He's in this one also. We got, Jeff Ryan's in this one. I don't know. Who y'all think the favorite is here?
Shane Ewing, when he left out with confidence. So watch him come to the front.
Definitely.
I could definitely see Shane Ewing coming to the front. There's a lot of fast guys right here. Shane, Todd Kirkwood actually wasn't too bad. I mean, he was pretty good.
Yes, he was.
Jeff Ryan was running really good. Tim Knott led for 3 or 4 laps in his original heat race. So he's one I wouldn't count out either.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go. 11 drivers. Looks like they all got gridded up there. But green flags added again here. Mark Allen up front. They'll go door to door for the moment. 3 wide, trying to mix it up for about 3rd place on back. That's between Tim, Jeff, and Reed. And it looks like Shane is still unfortunately having some connection issues. He blinked a little bit there. I just hope he's able to stay in the mix here and get back up front.
Oh yeah, we got Mark Allen pulled out front there. Todd Kirkwood pulled into second.
Contact!
Wreck.
Oh man.
Reed Rundell. I was gonna click the Pepsi car. Ooh.
Let's go back on the replay here and watch it again.
Tyler Page head pulling.
Yep. Oh, we saw it right there. 2 guys. Reed Rundell just got together with the 6 machine of Tyler Page. Let's watch it one more time again here. Everybody loves Rex. Yeah, they just got contact coming into the tri-oval. Next thing you know, from that point on, boom. Nothing they can do. And, the Pepsi machine got involved in that one. Wow.
I'm kind of surprised there wasn't a caution there, but, man.
I noticed that. Yeah. I know the cautions are
green
on.
Flag racing.
Yeah.
And,
that should have been a caution. Maybe. I've always said it a couple times here, Bryce. iRacing sometimes mind of its own.
The iRacing gods giveth, and the iRacing gods taketh away on occasion.
Yes, they do. I wonder if the cautions are on.
Well, you know what? They said they were, but because caution laps don't count. But, because that was kind of strange that it wouldn't have been. But, hey, I have seen stranger things happen in iRacing before. I've seen, some things sitting there going, how in the world did that throw one? And good Lord, half the field get wiped out not doing it. So I have seen some crazy stuff. Nonetheless, we're still in the green here. This race here is the first of 2 of the consolation races. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's the top four. Top 4 that advance. Okay.
Top 4
right
advance.
now.
Right now, Mark Allen, Neil Quick, Tim Knott, and Todd Kirkwood are going to advance. Jeff Ryan's sitting back there. He's only just about 0.3 of a second behind Todd Kirkwood. So this thing isn't over by any means.
No, it doesn't, and you've got to look, man, right here is Jeff Ryan sitting in the 5th, and Jonathan Mitchum right back in 6th. Tyler Page sitting in 7th. Reed Rundell, unfortunately, out, so it looks like we've only got about 7 machines.
Leaders just took each other out.
Ouch! Yeah, he did. Let's go back on the replay and watch it. Tim Knott right there with Reed, and, yeah, they just caught each other. He just caught the rear end, 41 machine did of him, and just turned him. Ouch.
Yeah, just turned him, and that took out our top 2. So that's really a shame and unfortunate. So
well,
that really changes the picture here.
It does, because it puts new top 4 guys here. Puts still Neil Quick up there, Todd Kirkwood in 2nd, Jeff Ryan 3rd, and Jonathan sitting there in the 4th. So Jonathan's the main man back, and Tyler Page would love to maybe see if he can't get a little bit closer and get up there.
There's still no caution.
Wow.
I would think the cautions are not on.
That's what I'm thinking too. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, but obviously an admin could throw it manually if they wanted to. But normally, I'm so used to heat races not, having cautions, being in dirt track side of things. A lot of the consolations they do. Hey, I kind of like it. It's pretty much winner take all, kind of, so to speak here.
Yeah, that's for sure. I tell you what, Neil Quick is he's up front now. Todd Kirkwood, Jeff Ryan, Jonathan Mitchum are going to be our transfer spots. Tyler Page is back 17 seconds, 16 seconds off the lead. Jonathan Mitchum's about 3.5 seconds off the lead. I don't see this field changing much unless we have another incident like what we just had.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't either. I'm with you. We'll just have to see, what happens here. And we're getting back up here right now. Neil Quick, he is definitely quick out front. This one, Todd Kirkwood right there behind him. Jeff Ryan, and we said earlier, I know racers want to win, but how much do you push it? You're in the show. You don't want to wreck that car. We've already seen it happen pretty much just a little bit ago. Top two guys out there, got in each other and pretty much essentially took themselves out of the show.
Yeah, it's that's a shame. I hate to see that. That was that I wasn't prepared for that. That's for sure.
Well, again, go strong, go home, I guess, so to speak. And right now, you do see Jeff kind of peeking on the inside of Todd. I feel like he might think, well, I've got a faster car than Todd right now. I just, again, don't know how much he wants to push the envelope. He's in the show. I know he would love to get around him, maybe to see if he could run down on Neil. You got Jonathan back there sitting in that fourth and final transfer spot. Think about it is here. You got Mark Allen. Boy, he's battling back here with Tyler Page. He's coming back to that front in a hurry. He might have enough time. I don't know if he's got enough time to run Jonathan down or not.
No, he's got a 15-second gap to make up in order to run down Jonathan, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And they're running
back
lap
there with
times
Mark.
about,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would need the caution in order to get back up there at this point. So I'm going to go, unless just something crazy, which, cross your fingers, we've already seen crazy here in this one. Unless just something crazy, your top four right now is kind of set. But I don't always want to say that in racing because we can always give them the broadcaster jinx. And I said Jeff was sitting back behind old Todd. He's had enough of it. He's going to the inside to see if he can't take that spot. Just hard to pass here.
Yeah, he gassed up at the wrong spot.
I just don't know that it's worth the risk. I mean, with only 7 laps to go, I just don't see it's worth the risk to go up there and push it and end up like him not and Mark Allen and Tyler Page back there, fighting for last.
Absolutely, because it only takes a little bit to get out of shape and get up in there and get into each other. So I'm with you on that one. Again, we take it back to a racer's mentality. I mean, you guys know, and I know, it's hard to sit back and be patient. You want to win. You want to push that car. You want to get in front of it, especially if you know you got a fast car. But we always say championships are won by patience. And, winning all the time does not win championships. So a lot of times using your head at the right moments is the way to do it.
Ooh, it looks like Todd's flirting with that wall off of 4.
Don't want that to happen. There's Neil still in control of this one. We're watching this battle here for second and third. It's been a tight one, back and forth. Jeff gets a run on him from time to time. Todd's able to hold him off, though. You can see just how much, even though Jeff might be faster than Todd, let's say by a little bit, he's not fast enough to just go zoom right on by him. He's fast enough to get there to maybe his quarter panel or right beside of him. It's so hard to pass here. This track has so much momentum. You're so tight going out of the turns that it's you're going to really need the guy in front of you to make a mistake.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's what we've seen all night is, you know, mistakes are where people are making up a lot of the spots, except for Jonathan Goodell, man. He cut right through that pack earlier in that heat race, man. He cut
Made it
right
look
through
easy,
there.
didn't it?
Yeah, he was
Yeah, he
cutting the
did.
cheese.
Yeah, well, we'll see how well he does tomorrow night in the feature. Folks, tune in tomorrow night. We're going to have that feature, kind of an all-star set. Here goes Jeff again. He's going to try it and see him. But just see, he just does not have that speed that just goes right by. He's going to need Todd to maybe push up the track and lose an awful lot of momentum. And you just don't see it through the going in to the center, but center off. That car just won't rotate down low and just cannot get that momentum to pass him.
No, it just can't. I mean, you know, Todd's just playing it safe, running that high line. I kind of like what he's doing. Not really trying to pinch Jeff or anything. You know, if I was Todd, I'd almost just let him go. But I understand wanting to finish second. You know, it's at a racer's pride for sure.
And that's what we were getting at, you know. These guys, man, they want to win. They want to have that position. Don't want to get in trouble, but these two guys, definitely every time Jeff does get alongside of him, you don't see Todd do anything crazy. Don't try to pinch him down or anything to where they'd get maybe, you know, slap off the door of each other, trade some paint. As far as Neil Quick, he is gone out front, you know, set and sail. Got a huge lead moving away from the field here. He just needs to put that thing in cruise control. White flag one more time. Let's see if Jeff's got anything, if he could take over that second place.
Yeah, I just, you know, whoa, Jeff got a heck of a run right there, though. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, it looks like Todd had to check up a little bit, but
yeah,
you know what?
Todd
Nowhere to go.
Todd just didn't quite rotate the center of that corner like he wanted to. But yeah, so this is gonna give Jeff an opportunity here. He's got to come off hard though. It looks like Jeff's gonna have the same problem. He's just gonna get up there behind Todd, get tight. So congratulations here to Neil Quick for finishing this race in first. Todd Kirkwood second. Jeff Ryan pulling up third, and Jonathan Mitchum filling out the fourth transfer spot. Unfortunately, Mark Allen, Tim Knott, Tyler Page, Ted Pullum, Reed Rundell, and Shane Ewing are going home.
Yeah, I hate that, man, on them, along with Glenn Campbell right there. Just, wow, but we saw some wild racing here. Got one more to go here, guys. I tell you, if it's anything like this one, batten down, buckle up, because it's going to be an awesome one. It's been an awesome one tonight, folks. I want to appreciate y'all tuning in as we get set here for our final qualifying style race for tomorrow night's feature here for the Neverquit 240. Like I said, out there, man, it's a charity style event here tonight. Appreciate these guys letting us, let myself put it on here. DJ Bryce been up here in the booth with me. We'll be here tomorrow night. Kind of an all-star style setup. It'll be kind of 3 segments involved. So tune in at 8:30 tomorrow night Eastern time. Again, you can see the links out there if you want to, you know, donate. Hit up beatthematch.org and you know, hit up the GoFundMe page there. Bryce Whitson, obviously bad. I'm gonna say leukemia. He has a more technical word for it there. I could let him get into that one, but you know, been battling with leukemia for quite some time, and finally might have hopefully found a treatment that's going to work for him. And maybe just kill that thing, and you know, hopefully, man, Bryce will be good to go. That's why we're putting on this event there, and here we are, guys. Final one here. 4 guys going to go to the show tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, you know, John Sterling. I think John Sterling would be my pick to win this thing as long as he doesn't mess up there. But definitely Sean Corcoran was fast. Matthew Walzenbach, I'd be surprised if he's not up there in the top 4. Mark Myers is pretty quick, and you know, we'll see what Jeff Gilliam's got now since he didn't get to run his first race.
And don't forget what we saw in that first one. Crazy. The top guys kind of taking each other out, so to speak. So anything can happen in these kind of short style, you know, shootout style races here. But it's getting set to go. Green flag, pace cars in. Up front, you got the man, John Sterling there. Going to lead them to the green. Very slowly, green flag flies. We're racing at Charlotte.
Yep. John Sterling pulled right out front. That was what he needed to do. Sean Corcoran is going to pull right in behind him. Really, the race right here is going to be for 3rd and 4th. Big push.
John Mustang Jr.
got a great push.
Oh, car around. That's
Yeah,
Lee
he's in the
Staple.
wall.
That's Lee Staple. I'm not even sure where he went. He kind of got in the wall, like you said. He went flying off. Lee Staple crashing.
Oh,
Let's go.
yeah, Mustang. Oh, coming back on the track. Terrible.
Let's go back here and watch. Let's go back and watch what happened on that one. John Mustaine Jr. He's up front. That one, contact between him and the 7. And like you said, come up to the front and a double 04 machine. A double 04 of Mark Mears slapping the wall hard. Don Runkle involved. Dennis involved in that one. Huge wreck up front with this one. We're still racing it here. Green, John Sterling, the man out front. Whew, Lewis there in second, Matthew third, Sean up in fourth.
I'm guessing somebody forgot to turn on cautions.
I'm going to say I don't know much, but I know the cautions are not on after that.
Well, and now this brings up the mentality of, I guess if the guys would have known that earlier on, and, I'm not going to fault anybody for it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to blame it on that flag man that tries to throw his arm out every time he hits the green flag up there that iRacing has. But, I may fault anybody, but I guess if the drivers would have known, maybe they would have took it a little bit more careful. But again, there's a fine line between a race like this. You got to go. There's only 20 laps. You got to be in that top 4. And a guy like Jeff Glockner, who is sitting in 5th place right now, outside looking in, about ready to go home if nothing else changes. I mean, you've got to go. You've got to push that car and get everything you can.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I want to say, now thinking about it, going back and reading the race layout Randy had laid out, he might have had cautions off for these heat races for this simple fact.
And normally, well, if you read the flyer, and we were reading it earlier, and again, I don't want to, hey, look, it's been great racing. I've enjoyed it. Awesome. But it does say cautions don't count in the consolations. So that tells it right there either way, maybe. But hey, you know what? I ain't going to fault anybody here. These guys at Sim500 has put on a great show and a great organization tonight for the benefit here for us here for Bryce Whitson up here. Bryce Whitson Jr., that is. I mean, I want to make sure I get the junior because I'm a junior myself. So
Me three.
Yeah, there you go, DJ. He said him junior himself there. And I've always been, a lot of people get it confused. They always go Joe White. I know him, Joe White Jr., so you want to make sure because my dad's Joe White.
Yeah, so, but no, we got some great racing tonight. It looks like there's still a race on right here. The 03 of Luis Sevilla is starting to catch John Sterling. We might still have a race for the win here tonight in this consolation race.
And I tell you what, top 4 right now are going to lock it in, but Lewis has plans to put it in victory lane as John Sterling's still out front. Don't count Matthew out. Remember, he had a bad run in his heat race, but this is his last chance to make it into the show. How much does he push it and get up there? Or how much does he actually go, okay, let me see what Lewis does. Lewis looks a little bit eager to want to take that lead. Let me see if he gets John, out of shape. I don't want to get caught up in their mess if something happens. I don't want to wreck myself. Right now you're locked in.
No, I agree. If I was Matthew, I'd just kind of take this as it is. I wouldn't want to push it too hard. I mean, Matthew's I guess he's only got a half a second lead on Sean Corcoran, but
yep.
they've got a good 4 to 5 second lead on the 5th place driver, Jeff Glockner, and Jeff's not putting down laps near what they are here up at the front. So, if it was me, one of these 4 guys, I think I'd just chill and let myself get through this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, you got the top 3 guys looking very good so far. John Sterling, Lewis there in second. Matthew up in the 3rd, Sean right there in the 4th place. That's your top 4 drivers. Been a good run. Now, we are in week 13 of iRacing. Some new changes if you're new to iRacing, if it's the first time out there. We've been in with it for quite some time. Every 12 weeks, or 13 weeks that is, on the 13th, every 12 weeks and on 13th week, they do what they do, updates and new content and so forth. And we had a slew of it. A couple most notable ones, especially this last night, we had the Sim500 Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Truck Series. They have what they call now the trifecta in the truck series. They brought finally the F-150 into it, so now we have the Chevy the Toyota and the Ford, and that's the trifecta in the NASCAR Truck Series right there. And it was awesome to see. Plus, you had some other great improvements. 2 other new cars, the 87 Cup cars, were brought into the mix, the Monte Carlo and the Thunderbird. So us old guys have been watching NASCAR since way back in the early 80s and so forth. We know all too well about those cars. A few little, damage models, updates here and there. And another thing that caught my eye, too, and I don't know if it's caught y'all's eye.
Matthew Walzenbach.
Yeah, he's
got the wall right there, and he's going to lose 4th place to Sean Cock, or 3rd place to Sean Coker on. That was Matthew just pushed it a little bit too hard coming off the corner, got aero tight, and darn near smacked the wall.
Yeah, I was watching the battle right there a little bit. Now, one thing that caught my eye, I don't know if it's caught y'all's gentleman eye out there. You'd have to see it on the broadcast side, but some of the camera angles, especially the wall angle and when the cameras are close to the cars, it shakes when they go by like in real life. And that's kind of something that caught my eye last night on the broadcast. So, neat little features like that of week 13. But I tell you what, Sean right now, he is stepping up the pace. He is all over Lewis for that 2nd place spot.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think Sean's going to go after it. He's going to pull down to the inside. Sean, I think, did like Jonathan Cadell did and saved his tires there for the first half of this race, and he's trying to make a charge here on the 2nd half.
We'll see if he's got enough time to run down the leader. That would be John Sterling, who is kind of like set sail out front. Sean right now makes the pass on 2nd and makes it clean. Let's look. The gap is 1.6 seconds. His last lap time, we're going to bring that up here, a 31.450, which obviously he had to go around the car there for a moment. John Sterling is a 31.234. I mean, if it stays lap-wise, he's not going to catch John. But let's see what it is when they come across the line. This time by, he's pretty much going to have to, at this moment, to be able to run down John, he's going to have to be knocking tenths off. Hundreds is definitely not going to be able to have enough to catch him. He ran a 31.423, and still Sterling right now with a 31.3, so he's not as fast as John. And if the pace keeps going like it is, it's just not going to catch John up there. So 2nd place might be all he's got right now.
Yeah, that's for sure. But man, it's amazing to see how much laying back there can help you for sure.
It does. Even on a short run style here, laying back definitely can help you, because for the first 10, 11 laps, you can almost run her wide open in these things. But after that, you're going to use and abuse those tires. It's going to be the last 8, maybe 5 laps of this run. You're going to see guys suffer. Now, tomorrow night, with them being 40, 40, and 80, it's going to be more of a tire management more than anything. Because, you guys know this place can be hard on tires after a while.
That's for sure. And, definitely, tomorrow night's race is going to be different. I don't know if they have a tire limit tomorrow night, but I do know that they're breaking those stages up in 40, 40, and 80. And, you're going to see guys come for tires whenever there's a caution, I think, otherwise. And, we'll just have to see how it rolls.
I really, last night was the first race I'd done broadcast-wise that they did have a tire limit. They have a 3-tire limit. It was 170 laps at Dover. I'll tell you what, it made a lot of drama, and it definitely made that race feel more realistic last night, because the fast guys who would use and abuse a lot of tires had to manage those tires better. And you saw guys during certain cautions didn't pit. So some guys were on newer tires and older tires, which what that does is guys on newer tires obviously going to be faster, but they still have to be mindful for the guys in front of them on slower tires. Just like in real racing, some guys might pit, some might not. So it brought a whole new strategy. So I'm not sure if they're going to do that tomorrow night with this being such short kind of dash type of races, but it would be interesting. So maybe if they're listening, Bryce's idea.
Well, we got John Sterling right here. He's finishing his last lap, coming out of turn 4. He's going to win consolation race number 2. That's going to lock in John Sterling. It looks like Sean Corcoran is probably going to end up finishing 2nd here. Luis Sarabia is third, and Matthew Walzenbach will be our last qualifier for the Neverquit 240 tomorrow.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what.
It's been a heck of a night of racing, that's for sure. A lot of fun. You know, I'm glad to see everybody who came out and supported me and everything. It's definitely awesome to see everything that's going on.
You know, and I gotta agree on that one. It has been definitely awesome here tonight, as these guys have you know, put out an awesome race, qualifying night here tonight. That's why it was kind of, you know, fast paced. You know, everything kind of just quick here. Tomorrow night the feature. Tune in 8:30 Eastern time. They go racing. It's going to be awesome there. We're going to be here on OSR Network on YouTube and Facebook. The Neverquit 240. I have three segments tomorrow night: 40 lap, 80 lap. But all the winners here tonight, field is set. It's going to be interesting. Definitely check it out. I appreciate you two gentlemen up here, DJ and Bryce, for staying up here in the booth with me through this one. Got any final words before we head out of there?
Man, I just want to, again, give a big thank you to Randy Yoakum and DJ Beverly for throwing this thing together and, you know, making this happen. It's amazing. You know, we've raised a little over $1,300 so far, which is going to go a long ways to helping Rachel and I with our medical expenses and travel expenses coming up for this leukemia trial. But, you know, just looking forward to tomorrow night, and hopefully we'll have an awesome race, and, you know, good luck, everybody.
Well, with that said, I tell you what, I appreciate you gentlemen being up here, the Sim500, and everybody out there. Tune in tomorrow night, Neverquit 240. It's going to be awesome here at Charlotte. For myself and everyone, have a good night.
If I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. And if I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home. I was just so far from here, focused on my own way, with never looking back to those who lived in fear. There was nothing I could do.